Hey, welcome to another episode of Move the Chains. I'm your boy, Big Game James, and alongside of me is the one and only, the musicologist, A. Reed. Hey, and as y'all
Yeah,
see, he is repping
yeah,
the Cincinnati Bengals with his black and
yeah.
orange on.
Come on, man. I gotta do wait. One time I gotta do it one time for me, for the fans, for the city. Who they, who they, who they say gonna beat them Bengals? Nobody, baby.
There it is.
Yeah.
Nobody. Hey, now, Reed, a question got brought up to me the other day, and I said, hey, I'm going to have to ask Reed next time we talk. How did you become a Cincinnati Bengals fan, baby?
Okay, man. I've been it's funny. Shout out to the late, great John Madden, because he had a lot to do with it. But growing up, I ain't gonna lie, I was always a Jerry Rice fan.
Okay.
My mom and dad, they went to Mississippi Valley State.
Oh,
They,
okay.
yeah, they went to Valley State. Dad used to tell me stories about how he saw Jerry Rice play and everything like that. So
Got
it
you.
naturally made me a 49ers fan.
Got
Okay.
it. Okay.
But the thing about it was always this team that I always saw with stripes on their helmets. I thought it was the dopest thing on earth. I don't know who they were because you never heard about them, but they
Got it.
just had these stripes on it and it just seemed so clean. So I think it was like more or less like around like Madden, like '06, '05, '06. Like I used to take like sorry teams and like just take them all the way. And I just started scrolling. I said, "Oh, damn, there they are, Bengals." Bam,
Got
and I
it.
started looking up the team, started doing research, and,
Okay.
and this is back. This is back. With the Marvin Lewis, with the Carson Palmer, with the Rudy Johnson, TJ, Ocho. You know
Oh
what I'm saying?
man. Okay. Yeah.
I'm talking about back. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you
So
don't remember the Boomer Esiason Bengals and the big Tony Munoz and what
no,
I'm saying
I
Dan
can't
the
say that
Klecos.
but I have went back. I have went back, did my research and everything. So
Yeah.
much love for what they did for the
Got
organization.
you.
Of
Okay.
course, I always love Boomer. You know what I'm saying and stuff like that. But like I said, I kind of grew up. You know what I'm saying, Jerry. I wanted to be. Everybody wanted to be a receiver. Goddamn, it was Jerry Rice. You know what I'm saying. But I gotta admit, like from then, man, I just and plus me always being like an underdog guy,
Right.
it was just like a natural thing. Like I saw like people just dissed them so much, and I was like, why y'all hate these guys so much? Like
Right.
that's a dope team, and just everybody just kept dissing this. I was like, nah, man. Now if I got to pick a squad, I'm gonna ride with a squad that don't nobody want to ride with. Like, what's
Okay.
up, Cincy? What's up, Cincy? And just from then on, like just I stayed with them. I stayed with them.
Hey, that's
Stayed
what's
hard,
up.
die hard with them.
Now, one thing I'm gonna say, man, I since the time I know you, and the time has gone by so fast, dog. It's
Yeah, yeah.
been like the fastest 7 years I think of my life, as far as like
Yeah.
the time we done met, hooked up, did shows together and stuff. Like, damn, I can't believe it's been that long. But I know two diehard Bengal fans. That's you and my dude Tim Murray. He's from Ohio. He lives out
Bet.
in Las Vegas now, and it's so funny because
He's going to. I know he's going. He's going
yes,
to the.
he probably trying to get there for real. But
Yeah.
he was every week like, "Hey James, the Bengals gonna win. If we win this game, we win it. We going to the Super Bowl." And I'm laughing like, "Dog, you and A Reed might be the only two people I know that will put y'all teams going all the way to where." I'm not gonna lie to you, man, and I know we about to get into our picks and our game previews and reviews and everything else. But I thought that the Bengals were gonna be doomed, and when that game started out the way it did, I was like, "Oh damn!" I
Man,
said,
everybody did.
"I
Even I did a little bit.
but Reed, to your point, because you and I talked about it a little bit earlier in the week when you said, don't forget what the first game looked like. They got out to like a 20 something to 3 lead that first game.
Mhm.
And I don't know what it was. They got come, but big shout out
Same
to
damn
you.
thing happened.
Yeah, big shout out to you. Big
Same
shout
thing
out to
happened.
Tim. Yeah.
21-3. What was it, like 21-3 like come halftime
Or
again?
28, something like that. Yeah,
Something like that.
it was about the
And look
same
what
thing.
happened. Look
But
what happened.
man, it's unbelievable to where, first and foremost, I take nothing away from the Bengals. And you watch their mindset, their energy, the way they get into it and how they carry themselves, man. They're not playing scared at all, which
At
is
all. At
it
all.
is for a young team, that's good because and I think it says a lot about their coach as well, man. Like he's come in and done a job. And to me right now, if he's not coach of the year, something's wrong
Oh yeah, most definitely.
by
Most
far. You know what I'm
definitely.
saying? So
Most definitely.
it's one
Most
of those
definitely.
things, man, where you see it, they're doing it, hard to believe at times, but then they just carry out everything and they go and they play hard and they make things happen, bro. And it's hard to pick against them right
Do
now.
you? I don't know if you pay attention. I mean, because I do follow the squad or whatnot, man. But just to see Coach Zach Taylor after every game, how he talks to the team, how Joe Burrow talks to the team, how the leaders address the squad. You
Right.
know, one thing, and even Shadow, like I've never seen this. I've never seen a coach, especially like during the playoffs, just during these games, a coach that actually takes the game balls to the local establishment, the local bars, and tells
Hey,
them this ball is for you, and this is just to let you know these many more are coming. More are coming. We love y'all support. This is for you, and this is staying. Like, what coach does that? You know what
hey,
I'm saying?
Reed. When I saw that and heard that on ESPN that he went to started it and said, "I'm stuck in traffic. I might as well go do this and let the fans know how much we appreciate them." Man,
Yeah,
that takes the cake because that really puts it takes that fan to a place that they wouldn't be otherwise. I think it puts them there, makes them feel like they're really a part of what's going on. And we all
exactly.
know how important it is for the fan to feel like they're a part of what's going on in the game. It's important for them to feel like, hey, this is my team, this is my city. And Zach Taylor he's going down to those bars and he's doing that. He's going in, he's giving them the game ball, presenting them with it, making them feel like a part of it. And
Crazy,
hey man, who that nation? They doing a thing, man. Hey,
crazy,
could not believe it at all. So big
crazy.
shout out to you and your Bengals right now, man. And it's great to see. It's fun to see a team like this,
Wonderful.
and I love the underdog. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I love the underdog.
I'm just glad it's my boys, man. Finally, 31 years, y'all. We are here. Shout out to every Cincinnati Bengal fan around the
Let the
freaking
boy
world.
come in my show.
We doing this, man. We doing this. I'm telling y'all right now on this show, we doing it.
Yeah, man. Hey, big time, big things going on. Hey, but going into that game, and you said it surprised you too. Um, I still can't believe, and it's hindsight now, but for me, I read, when it come down to it, and I talk to you all the time, I'm old school football, right?
Mhm.
I believe in doing things a certain way, and I think that's because I saw how Coach Dungy approached the game and what
Right.
his take was on certain things. And he always had the belief where when you get in the red zone, you can't pass up points unless it's a must score touchdown. But for the most
Hey,
part, whenever we got in the red zone, we knew we were going to settle for three and kick that three and rely on our defense to make a play. What did you think about that in the first half when Kansas City got down there to about the 4 yard line, through the swing pass to
to
Hill,
Tyreek Hill.
and your Bengals get the big stop and they get no points before half, and it comes back to bite them in the butt.
Well, first and foremost, I'm happy because it's the Bengals playing against
Right.
KC. I'm happy that they made the stop. But secondly, though, I am thinking that's a dumb play call. That's a dumb call. Even if you're going into halftime, I mean, you still try to increase the lead somewhat somehow. I don't know if they was up 21 or had more points at that time, but they could have had 3 more points, which
It was
would
21-3 at the time they did it because they went into halftime 21-3. They
so
could
it
have
could have
made
been
it
24 to
24-3.
3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With Cincy coming back, having to face that deficit. Okay.
Right.
Um, and then we're potentially talking maybe the game is not even going to the overtime. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you
Right.
because you still got the 3 points. So over. I mean, either way, it was a dumb play for Casey. You take the points, especially in the playoffs, bro. In the playoffs, you score as many freaking points as you possibly can, as many points as you can. You don't pass up opportunities. And
Right.
they could have did something.
Now,
So
hey,
that's
Reed,
what they should.
I'm gonna ask you this, and this is something that I know Jay and I are gonna probably talk about on Thursday, and something I kicked around with some of my people around here. Do you think if the Chiefs didn't execute the way they wanted to so easy in the game that they kicked those three, I think they got a little bit ahead of themselves and thought that they were going to have an easy time in the second half. So they passed up the points thinking that it was going to be a cakewalk in the second half. And the one thing I've noticed about the Bengals and Zach Taylor, what they do very well is make second half adjustments.
Yes, they do.
I think they made
Yes,
better
they do.
adjustments than anybody that's in the playoffs right now, and they find a way to win at all times.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I give you that. I give you that. I've never seen another team that does something like that, man. So most deaf.
Right,
Yeah, yeah. Shout out J Stock. No, for real. Chiefs. I guess they just was they figured that they were just gonna score.
right.
regardless, you know what I'm saying? Because I think Tyreek Hill had just had that play like right up the field that he had
Yeah.
killed. So my bad, I kind of hit my mic out of excitement.
You, yeah, you good, man. But yeah, I
Yeah,
think, and I was talking about that with a friend of mine. I was like, look, man, if they didn't have the success they had early on, I think they take those points. But at the same time, once they got that feeling like, man, we got this. This is way too easy. Hey, let's get cute. Get cute, get you beat in the NFL. That's one thing you cannot do. You can't go out there. You can't get cute as Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? They got cute. They
real
got
talk,
beat.
real
Hey,
talk, real
Kansas City
talk.
turn around the next week. They got cute. They got beat. And
They
now
sitting at the house.
they send it to the crib chilling, man. Don't get cute. Hey, the hell with your analytics. I I said that on one of my little short vlogs that I released out earlier this week. The analytics are gonna get you beat. Quit.
I'm not you know what, man? Even on that, man, I'm not a big stickler in that analytic stuff, man. I think to me, like I'm kind of more of an old school
Yeah,
person, like more of the situation of the game. Like,
right,
you know what I'm saying? I think I've watched enough football in my time. I haven't played in NFL, but I played, high school and stuff like that. I played in the mirrors. I've done enough football and know enough of the rules to practically understand what to do in each kind of situation of each kind of game. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So,
exactly.
so that's what I'm saying. Like you got to go for them points, man. You got
Yeah.
to go for those points.
Man, something else I thought about and I want to get into. And do you think that Patrick Mahomes' time to have the success is over? Do you think that the Kansas City Chiefs can get back to the dominance to actually get another Super Bowl win? Or with all the variety, I think, coming up in the AFC, are they making things hard on themselves?
No, no, I think he still has a chance. I think he definitely still has a chance. Every year that KC plays, every time Mahomes gets on the field, you're almost kind of expecting KC to win. I mean, he's still that guy. He's still good. But the problem is that, and like I was kind of saying with the Cowboys, the window is closing. The window is starting to close.
Yeah.
They was they was at that peak pinnacle for a little while,
Uh
but
huh.
with the injuries and in the recent unsuccess that they haven't been having, and now you see the recent stuff with the Bengals, with other teams coming up. Now it's just like, okay, y'all are up there, but all these other teams is coming up there now. So the window is closing for what they can do, which is
Right.
going to make it seem like his time may be up. I don't think his time is up. It's just folks is figuring out ways, what I'm saying, to play KC, man. Like they're
Hey,
not scary anymore, man. They're not
hey, with,
scary anymore.
right. With these young quarterbacks, though, it's gonna make it hard. Now, this is one thing that I don't think a lot of people have thought about. He's a $500 million quarterback. A lot of that money in that contract is backloaded to where they're gonna have to dump some of that to keep key components in place later on in that contract to be competitive. They're not gonna be able to keep all the same pieces on that team. And Kansas City, without those pieces, is just a regular team. They're no one. They're not a dominant, fierce team that anybody's going to fear. Where do they make up some of that later on to make sure that that squad is still going to compete?
You need to shore up that defense. Yeah, just like they need to shore up the defense. They
Yeah,
need to shore up the defense. And maybe add another piece to your O. Maybe. Um, I would probably want to find me maybe another receiver that can maybe take some help off of Tyreek Hill and Kelsey. Um,
yeah.
which your running back was all right with Clyde Harris.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire,
Yeah, yeah.
and then number one, I wanted to say McKissick. I'm
McKinnon,
tripping.
McKinnon,
Yeah,
McKinnon or
McKinnon
something.
for
Yeah,
the and he
yeah.
was a quarterback in college, but they have a cool 1-2 punch at running back
They
position.
can, yeah. They got
They
some.
they
They got
still
some
they
people to
still
strap
need
your
some route
defense, man.
runners, but they got to get the defensive line shored back up. Like I said, Ingram was a big help at the defensive position. We know what Jones does as a pass rusher and a run stopper on the defensive line. Linebacker play, secondary is getting old and they're getting a little banged up. I love Tyrann Matthew to death, but he's only got so much time left to
Man, I
really
was just
have
about
that
to say it.
success. You know what
I
I'm
like
saying?
Honey
Like,
Badger, man. I
yeah,
like Honey Badger, but yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
yeah.
So yeah, all on
Hey,
that
Jason,
defense.
Jay Stocks, I know the contract is over 10 years, but the way it's written out is still going to eat up something at part of that back 10. Don't know what part it kicks in. I'm just saying with everything that's going on in the NFL, especially in that AFC right now. And guys, let's not forget, analytics kept the Los Angeles Chargers out of the playoffs in the long run. Three of their last four losses all came within like 3 points apiece,
Mm.
and they left points out there all the time because they chose to go for first downs instead of going for field goal or go for touchdowns in the red zone instead of taking those points. I think that's something that they learn from, try to get better at, and then it's going to be different. I just think it's going to be hard on the Chiefs coming up to know how they're going to play and what they can or can't do, man. That's just
Big
really, really,
game,
really what I think.
big game. You having NFL experience, man.
Yes,
If
sir.
you was an NFL coach, big game, man. 4th and 3. What you gonna do?
Now, I read, being real, like I told you, I'm an old school guy. It depends on where I'm at on that field with that 4th and 3. And it
Okay.
also depends on what type of offensive line I have. You know what I'm saying? If I got some road graders like San Francisco 49ers, I might take a better more of a chance on that 4th and 3. If I'm right outside that red zone, that Dallas Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy like to call goal zone, and I
Yeah.
don't have the best offensive line, I'm gonna take those 3 points, man. I just feel like three times, me getting three times, and you getting stopped 3 times gave me 9 points to your zero,
Facts, facts, facts.
right? So I'm
All
gonna take the
facts,
points, man.
all facts. And then that's also knowing your personnel.
Right.
Knowing your
Yeah.
personnel, knowing the situation
I
of the
mean,
game.
you gotta know. I say it all the time to my son. He's like, man, daddy, he didn't catch the ball, son. You gotta know who you throwing to. You know who your
Fact.
go-to receivers are. You throw to the ones you know gonna catch the ball. You in middle school. You can't throw the ball to your friend if your friend can't catch. Tell your friend to forgive you, but your baller won't. You gotta get the ball in the hands of them ballers, man. Same thing when
Mhm.
you're running the ball, you making decisions. You know your personnel, you know your strength. You gotta play to them, and it's that game. Like I said, it's still so weird to me, and that's why I said it's adjustments, right? Because they look so fluid, they look so smooth. They had their way in the first half, besides the bonehead player not taking the points, and then they came out and ran into a buzz on a wall. And now I'm asking the question: does Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy know how to make adjustments? But at the same time, when they came out ahead, they didn't have to make an adjustment until in the game, and they didn't do that very well at all, and that's why they lost the game.
Mhm. Yep, complete facts.
Yep.
Either way, they're at home and we're in the Super Bowl.
Hey, they at home, you in the Super Bowl, going to the ship, going to the ship. All right,
Yes,
well,
sir.
hey, keeping this train moving and not slowing things down. The afternoon game, the San
Mm.
Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams.
Hard fought game between both teams. You got to give kudos to the 49ers, man, because they was playing their asses off through this whole playoffs.
Right.
Man, to see the emotion of your boy Debo after the game, because you knew how much that meant to him. And they didn't lose by much, man. Didn't lose by much.
I mean,
So
Debo's a warrior, dog. I get that up to him.
warrior to the
He's
heart, boy.
he's a competitor. He cares, and you know what? I still tip my hat to San Francisco, man, because they overachieved this postseason too, right? Like let's
Mhm.
real talk. Go back to Super Wild Card Weekend. I don't how many people really had them beating Dallas. You know what I'm saying? About a handful. It was like half, and it wasn't really half. You had a couple
I just
naysayers.
told Cowboys fans, y'all better watch.
Exactly, exactly, and it's because
Don't take
the
them lightly.
the way they're coached and the way they play. And like I said, this not gonna be a cow. We're not gonna get on the Cowboys. This is not a Cowboys bashing show, but we already know that the Cowboys were a more talented team, but they got out
Yes, they
coached.
were. Yes, they
Point
were.
blank. Period. Point blank. Period. They got out coached, right? So
Mhm.
that happened. They didn't handle the business. Didn't do what they needed to do, and they lost the game. But San Francisco showed then that they weren't gonna back down from anyone. They were gonna
Nobody.
do whatever they needed to do to compete and to get things done. And man, you got to just take your hat off to them because they did it, man. They never stopped balling. They never stopped believing. But
That Green Bay game made me believe him.
me too in
That
the
Green
special
Bay game made
teams.
me believe him.
But Reed, if we go to this game against the Rams, what's the one thing that stuck out to you, man, that you think may have cost them the game?
Man, just kind of a few missed opportunities, man. Just They was there, but it wasn't there, man. And it was just hard fought on both sides, man. It is just like it's like that game could have came down to like one or two plays, bro. Really,
Right.
it really could have came down to one or two plays. Um, definitely, man. Taking what's that, man? Taking advantage of opportunities when they come. I can't remember. I can't say his name. I forget it. It's Trick Truitt, whatever he is, but he missed that pick, and I was like, God.
Yeah, that
Oh, man.
Jay Styles said Jimmy G's the reason they lost that game. But yeah, Reed, I'm gonna piggyback off what you said because hey man, it's hard. And that young man, the ball came right there, eyes went up, looked down the field. You can totally tell he
Wow.
was ready to see where he was gonna go with that interception once he got it. It hit his hands and he dropped it. To me, that changes the entire complexity of the game
It changes.
because
It changes it all.
maybe they stop them, they get the ball back, they have momentum, they go score again, maybe put that thing out of reach right before they run around. Now,
Exactly.
if ifs and couldas wouldas ain't won a Super Bowl yet. You know what I'm saying? Like you have
And
to
it
get it
won't.
done, and you got to make big plays in those big games. Um, that's your offense wins games, defense wins championships, and that defense played better once the offense ended up scoring that possession,
Hmm.
and it's like it gave them a little bit of life back, a little bit of wind under their sails, and they believed in that they can get things done, and they got it done, man.
Yeah, yeah, they did, man. So Rams, y'all got fortunate for that.
Right.
And I'm not taking anything away from it's just shit. Ja- Look, I'm not even trying to
Hey,
backtrack him, but he's not lying though. Like
you think Stafford really tried to give the game away, and the Niners gave it away worse? That's Jay Stoggs being a Matthew Stafford hater. That's
But
all that
I
is,
like
dog.
I like Stafford. I like Stafford. I really do like
Mhm.
Stafford. South Lake Carroll, product. Boy went to Georgia, did his thing, man.
No, Highland Park. He went to Highland Park.
Yeah, Highland Park, yeah,
Yeah, he went
yeah.
to Highland Park.
Uh, love the kid, man. Love the kid. But I do feel that he's just due up. He's just due to make a costly turnover at some point in the game. You don't know
I,
when, but it's coming. You know what
I
I'm saying?
read.
Whether it's an interception, whether it's a fumble, but he's due it for a costly turnover.
I
I need that to happen. And I feel like, see, and I was telling some Rams fans at my job today because they was talking some mess. Look, the Bengals have been getting these turnovers. They have been getting these turnovers, look, I'm telling you, Bengals can do it. I'm gonna be saying it all show,
all week. Yeah. Hey
all week.
man.
Bengals can seriously do this.
Yeah, they can.
Seriously.
But
I feel like Stafford is just it's due to happen, James. It's
I
due to
mean,
happen.
I feel you on that because I was watching that last drive and I was like, yo, he gonna throw a pick. And guess what? I said the same thing against Tampa when he threw the big play to Cooper Cup, man. They got down the field. So part of me wanted that old Detroit Matthew Stafford to show up and he never walked in the building. You know what I'm saying? He handled
Mhm.
his business. He did what he's supposed to do in those situations. And they did what they had to do. Now,
Yeah,
Jay
that's
Styles,
right.
Jay Styles, he said he gonna lose the game for you. Did Dak Prescott lose the game for the Cowboys?
Oh, don't do them like that.
I'm just
That
asking
can't do that.
questions, since we finger pointing quarterbacks, and one quarterback has still maintained the last half of the last 4 games of the year, and so far in the playoffs. I mean, like I said, you can hate Matthew Stafford all you want, but he hasn't gone to choke Stafford yet. He's
He had, I
maintained.
mean, they
Now he
winning.
tried against Tampa, but he still pulled it out in the end. You know what I'm saying?
He's
This
winning.
game here, man, I don't know. I guess okay, it comes down to the quarterback that played worse. I think Jimmy G those last 2 drives played worse than Matthew Stafford did that game, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? They lost.
Yeah, yeah. I get that. I
Okay,
get it.
so Jabari just said who that nation is about to get him right, and we're gonna get into our previews a little later, man. And I think the one thing that we still have to account for is the amount of times that Joe Burrow gets hit in a game. You
Yeah,
know, that's
yeah,
the elephant in the room right now, I believe. Where's the pass protection going to come from? What are they going to do? Now, the good thing about this is they got 2 weeks before they need to do anything, make any kind of adjustments, or be able to make the adjustments they need to make going into the Super Bowl. So I think it gives them time to figure out how to address this aggressive defensive line. Now, the one
mm,
thing that no one said yet, man, I believe, and are we too far ahead to really jump on the Super Bowl preview? Because I know we're gonna do a whole lot more preview and predictions. But hey, we could go ahead and start talking about it now. But I know the one
oh,
thing and one area that I believe
mm,
um, nobody nobody's talking about is Jalen Ramsey is the best player in that Rams secondary, right?
yeah,
Other than that, you got to stop Chase and Higgins, and
and
hopefully, I don't know if the tight dude.
Uzum if he comes back.
If he comes back, but if not, y'all still got enough pieces. Oh, the Boyd, right? There's a Boyd,
Yeah,
the other
boy,
receiver,
Tyler
dude.
Boyd.
There's 3 receivers that can give that secondary fits if Burrow has a chance, has the time to throw the ball. Because Jalen Ramsey is going to be 1-on-1 with Jamar Chase. We already know
Mm,
that. We're going to
yeah,
have our popcorn ready to watch it, ready to see it.
yeah,
But the secondary is a weak link, I believe, for that defense. I believe most of their success comes in that front seven. And I believe you take Ramsey out of the equation, and the Rams are just mediocre in the secondary.
yeah.
And that might be a harsh word to say, but
Oh,
that's just what I feel. I think that they can expose them there. Reed, what do you think they need to do to slow down that pass rush of Aaron Donald and Von Miller?
I think they'll figure something out as far as that O line. I mean, because if you look at it, I mean, they have been pretty much one of the worst O lines in the league. I mean, if you letting your quarterback get sacked that many times
Right.
within the season, they have. But for some way, somehow, those guys have still maintained to somehow keep it adjusted, and do the necessary things they needed to do along the way. So I think they somehow figure it out. You're gonna have to do something with Aaron Donald, a double team, so that even if it means putting another person in the box, another tight end, however they need to do it, but they gonna figure something out. But I think if they do that, that may give them a lot more success because that would give Burrow time behind that line. And like you
Right.
said, besides Jalen Ramsey, who else you got to help cover Boyd, to help cover Higgins?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
another thing too that I don't know if they get enough credit for, and Jay Styles put this in here before I could actually chat on. I mean, bring the point up. You
No,
got
Von Miller cannot cover Higgins.
you
No,
got what
no,
boy? No,
no.
you got Joe Mixon that can run the hell out of the ball, and Samaje
Mhm,
Perine that is another good back as well, and they both
mhm.
catch the ball very well out of the backfield. So
Yes,
you
they
got a
do.
two-headed monster at running back, and if you get the Rams where they cannot pin their ears back and just pass rush, you're going to get them. And that's how the 49ers beat them the first 2 times this season, is when they ran the ball with success on them. They just didn't have the run game this last game that they did the first 2 games of the season.
And
So
since he has a run game,
if Cincinnati can get that run game going, then that's going to slow down that pass rush. And I think, to me, that's how you counter that great pass rush with the
mhm.
with the solid run game. And I know they want to throw the ball, and everybody wants to see Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase play pitch and catch, but they're gonna have to incorporate their running game to help slow down that Rams defense and then take advantage of it.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I totally agree. Totally
Yeah,
agree with you. I totally agree. This is gonna be a good game, though. Very good
man.
game.
Should be a very good game, and we're gonna come back with a Super Bowl special right before Super Bowl kicks off to let everybody know who we pick, why we pick them, and what we think is gonna happen, because a lot is gonna happen between now and then. So, hey, Reed, something we put on the rundown, and instead of waiting, since we just got through talking about you know, this 49ers game versus the Rams, 49ers lose. There's been a lot of Jimmy G critics out there. Uh,
Mm.
Jeff Garcia came to his defense this week when ESPN's Mina Khan made a statement about Jimmy Garoppolo winning, but he wasn't the reason they were winning. And Garcia basically said it's easy for someone who's never played the position to come out and talk bad about someone who has, and has, you know, no reason or no, I mean, she has no right to talk about somebody like that. And some broadcasters get a little brave behind the camera and behind the pen and talk a little bit of trash. Yeah, we know Mina Khan's is a female. She didn't play any football. Hell, we don't know if she played any sports at all. She has a good voice and people listen to her on ESPN, and she can say the things she says. Was she right? Was she wrong? I don't know. But you asked the question, what's next for Jimmy G? What do you think the 49ers need to do with Garoppolo, man?
I think it would be dumb if they let him go.
Ooh,
I just think it would be dumb for them to let him go. Look how much success that the guy's had, the success that he has with Shanahan. He's been proven. Look how far that he's gotten you guys to. I mean, it's proven that he works well with Shanahan. But then you have the issue of your boy Trey Lance.
right, right.
Why
It's
did you draft him?
exactly. So at what point in time you go get you think your next quarterback in the draft, you move up, use a first round pick on Trey Lance, you give him another year of learning under Jimmy Garoppolo? I mean, like, what's the
Well,
process gonna be? Like, I don't see how that works,
well,
man.
see, the thing is, they drafted Trey Lance for him to be the next one in charge, you know what I'm saying, for the 49ers. But the
Right.
problem is you got Jimmy G playing the way that he's playing. So you can do one or two things. You can let Jimmy G go, let Trey do his thing, or keep Jimmy G, make Trey Lance some trade bait, see what you can get out of him. Because he's a young guy that can get some talent, can probably learn under another system. You know what I'm saying? Maybe compete somewhere for a starting position. You know what I'm saying? Get a lot more touches. And then you just start building your team around Jimmy G. Resign him, start building around. You know what I'm saying? Because the fact of the matter is, if you let him go, somebody's going to pick him up.
Right. Right.
And you guys are not going to go back to the playoffs with Trey Lance being your starting quarterback next year. Period.
Yeah. Trey Lance is young and he played sparingly this year. So basically, he will come into next year if he was to get put in the starting role and basically be like a rookie all over again. You know what I'm saying? He's
Yes.
not ready to come in and be the starter. But you spend money on it. You got to take a chance. You gave Jimmy G some money to come out there. I mean, yeah, Lance is under a rookie deal. It's not like he's eating up a lot of the salary cap the way that deal is structured. But what kind of division does that create in the locker room? Does it become something divisive that could break a team up? What do you do to make things smooth and right? I think John Lynch will get it figured out. He and Shanahan out there, but you got to ask the question. What's real? What's the real expectations of what should be done with Jimmy Garoppolo? And do you take that chance to keep him on your team until you think Trey Lance is really ready? I think Green Bay is another one that made a mistake at quarterback when drafting Love the way they did with
Mm-hmm.
Rodgers. So, like, you get these young
Mm-hmm.
quarterbacks in waiting. To me, you can do that with a second or third round pick. You don't do that with a first round pick unless you
Exactly.
feel like, I mean, and not the
Exactly.
way where it's a win now league. You don't have time to really develop the kids that you want to, how you want to develop them. Because if you don't win, you're going to get fired. You're not going to be there to even have a job.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And then you drafting these guys when your starting quarterback still have prime in them.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So of
Yeah.
course it's gonna look like a slap in the face.
Right.
Like, come on,
Exactly.
bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can understand if like, Pittsburgh had got Trey Lance or somebody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly.
And
Because you
told
knew
him,
Roethlisberger was on his last leg.
he was on his last leg, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He was in there on the pinky toe. You knew you had to go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah, man.
mm, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what 49ers do though.
Very interesting to see what they do. Um, I think Jimmy G's going to be gone for some reason. I just believe it. Um,
I can
Now,
see
I
it.
don't I don't think he's beyond awful. He's played hurt. He's managed games. He hasn't come out and complained or said anything publicly. If he has any bad feelings, he left it all in house. He's not airing their dirty laundry. He keeping it in the crib between family, letting them
Hmm.
do their thing. And who knows? Now, I still think that he can be a serviceable quarterback in this league. I think that he can carry a team that has a lot of other support behind it, if that makes sense. Now, I'm not saying I want him as my quarterback. I'm not saying that. But I think that he's not the worst out of 32 quarterbacks, Jimmy Garoppolo is not the worst of 32 quarterbacks.
I could see Jimmy G leave. And he seems like he was one of those guys that want to be like in a big city or something like that.
Think so?
Yeah, I could see him. I mean, he looked like one of them guys where he like to. I could see Jimmy G go to like the Jets.
Hey, but your boy Zach Wilson started playing good at the end of the year. I think they got what they want out of him. So, I mean, if Jimmy G goes somewhere with a young first round draft pick quarterback, he's going as a backup.
Giants.
He's got to go. There you go. Now he can go there and push Brown out the door.
He can go to the Giants. He
He
can
can
go
go
to
to
the Giants.
he can go to the Giants and maybe
And
push him out the
him,
door and
Saquon. I
be
can see
yeah.
that though. I can see that.
Now is Galladay still under contract for the Giants?
I think
Does he?
so.
I think he has another year on his contract too.
I think so.
Um, what's your boy's name from Oklahoma? Receiver out there. He been there about 4 years. He dating somebody famous now too. Um, Shepard. Shepard was hurt this year. A healthy Sterling
Oh,
Shepard is not a bad wide receiver for him to throw the ball to. So he might have a couple of weapons to go to, man. And we're gonna talk about who they hired here as a coach here in a minute, man. But first and foremost, talking about moves, and I saw this and my stomach turned, and I think I want to throw my food up a little bit, dog.
really?
The Las Vegas Raiders
Really?
decided to hire Josh McDaniels.
That made you turn?
It made me.
Wow.
Hey, man. Before I move on, man, look at what this boy did. So Jay Stoggs, y'all. Earlier we are talking about what Mina Kimes said, and that Jeff Garcia came to the defense of Jimmy Garoppolo, and he told me that Jeff Garcia was trash. Jeff Garcia, when he was a solid quarterback, I mean, he was somebody Dallas could have used back in the day when they were going through Anthony Wright and Tony Banks and everybody else. Okay,
Oh
Jabari.
yeah.
All right, Jay Stoggs. Like you want to sit up here and name people who
You
was
said
and talk
Tony
about
Banks.
people not being solid. Y'all had a lot of not solid quarterbacks. Maybe that's how you know better than maybe you are more of a quarterback expertise than I am because Dallas has had some bad ones. You know what I'm saying? Clint Sterner. Uh, yeah, y'all had a lot of bad quarterbacks, Jabari Stockland.
Quincy
I'll tell you that.
Carter.
Yeah, Quincy Crackhead Carter. Now, don't
Kellen
tell
Moore.
he gonna tell me Jeff Garcia being solid is like saying Romo's a Hall of Famer. No, not at all, not at all. And we know that Tony Romo is not a Hall of Famer. So I get the point you're trying to make on your statement. You know what I'm saying? But Jeff Garcia was better than a lot of quarterbacks y'all had here that y'all cheered on that y'all thought was great. So,
He's trying to tell you, man.
hey man, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop my rant. I'm not gonna get mad. I'm gonna let Jay Stocks get on with his day, cause he likes to do that. He likes to ruffle my feathers.
My man
Um,
said Tony Banks, y'all. Tony Banks.
Tony Banks, dog. Ain't no diss to Tony Banks, man. I like how Banks put it
Man, I used
down
to love
and
Tony,
did
bro.
his thing,
I
man. He was a great,
supported Tony back in the
great,
day.
great quarterback in college. Solid guy, but he wasn't gonna be that franchise team leader that was gonna
Nah,
take you
nah,
to a
nah,
Super Bowl, man. We know that, and that's no disrespect to him or anybody else. You know what I mean? So real quick, but yeah, so something that turned my stomach, man, when I saw it the other day, because we talk about coaches and chances, and we talk about why some minority coaches don't even get interviews, or they do. It's only because the Rooney Rule that these teams really aren't even interested anyway, right? And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
2022. Reed, I'm sick of talking about race when it comes to hiring coaches. I'm just sick of it, right? And here it is, Josh McDaniels, who got fired in Denver, runs back to Daddy Belichick in New England, tells the Colts that he's going to come on to be their head coach, reneges. They have to go get Frank Wright another couple of years. In his press conference yesterday, I just had to make sure I waited for the right situation, and this was finally the right situation before I took this job. But yet, we still getting qualified candidates that get a token interview and can't even get a job, or really come in for a second interview, or have a chance to go in and coach that team. So it's like Josh McDaniels is young, privileged, with the right skin pigmentation. He's getting a chance to go do a job that I don't even think he's already showed how capable is he. What kind of success is he really gonna have in Oakland? I mean, Las Vegas. It just makes me sick, man, to see somebody that can throw away stuff still be blessed with another opportunity so fast, so quick. over other guys that I think may be more qualified.
So big game, you've been blessed to be a part of the NFL, to be in the game,
Right,
to be a part of it, to see the inside. I never have. But
right,
you've been very fortunate enough to see things behind the scenes that millions of people would die. Would love to see.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Just to catch a glimpse of. So
Hmm.
I'm sure that being such a billion-dollar, multi-million-dollar industry, that it's certain people and of certain colors that are sitting at the top that makes the final decisions all the time. Um, is it a shame that only one team, a la the Pittsburgh Steelers, can maintain a minority coach in Mike Tomlin? Yes, it is because it's very. I mean, we've seen it time and time again that there are many qualified people of all type of different races that can
Right.
coach in the NFL. But for some reason, you know, all 32 teams have pretty much white owners, maybe except for the Jags. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying
Shah Khan. Yeah,
in
and
Atlanta, maybe you know what I'm saying. But aside from
it's
that, you know,
yeah,
and
man.
and it, you know, who makes the money though? Who makes the money, big game? What
Yeah,
color makes the money? The
yeah.
people come out to see what color. You know,
I mean, I know.
sprinkle with a little snow in the quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? But the but
Yeah,
but who the ones are the running backs and the wide receivers and you know
and
what I'm
this
saying? The ones.
right. And Reed, this is my thing. And I've seen coaches stranglehold by upper management about things they could or couldn't do. That some people couldn't dominate us. I mean, like I'm not trying to be funny. Bruce Arians has the blackest coaching staff in all of the NFL. I mean,
Mm,
if you look around and look person for person, position by position, the number of African American assistant coaches he has outweighs every team in the NFL. And like I said, I'm not trying to make this a race thing. I'm not trying to come on here and cry. And people are like, well, it's you earn your right. But at the same time, like I said in my game's extra point, what's the point of me going after something when I know I don't have the same chance as
fact,
a white counterpart, right? Just real
fact,
talk.
fact.
So, like I said, we don't want to make this about race, but the practice is making it about race. And the one thing I said that I'm not gonna bite my tongue on, that is a real fact, and it's just true, that some old owners, most of the time, your quarterback is the face of your franchise because it's the most popular position that everyone knows.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't look like them, that's not what they can see representing their team and what it means. And that's just the
Mm,
God honest truth. Should it be like that? No. But you see it over and over again. And that's why a long time ago, besides your quarterback, your coach is now the face of your franchise. And for a
mm-hmm.
long time, they didn't have a lot of people that looked like us that they thought could play the quarterback position either. And it was a stereotype that they're athletic, they can run, the arm might be strong, but they cannot think and comprehend the game like a smart white quarterback. And
Yeah.
I've had old scouts sit down and tell me stories about some of the things they were told, even that these were white and black scouts that worked for certain franchises and organizations that were told that's fine, but this is what I'm looking for because that young man there is not going to be able to think the way this other guy thinks, and
Mm.
that's how certain people believe.
It's a
Now,
pick and
my
choose.
my
Pick and choose.
stories are gonna be my stories, and they real, and my sources are gonna be my sources. I'll never get those up, but at the same
For
time,
sure.
it
No.
opens your eyes to things that, like you said, if you're not behind closed doors and have a chance to pull up seats and talk to certain people, you're never gonna know about it. You're never
Never.
gonna see it.
Never. Never.
You know what I'm saying? It's just one
Never.
of those things that you don't know about, and yet Josh McDaniels can just get another job in a blink of an eye, and already left a team high and dry and be like, oh no, that's not it. I'll take it. No, I won't take it.
I mean,
You
well,
know,
and we don't know if that has to deal with the fact that he, has been under Belichick for so long, because Belichick is well respected. I mean, we don't know what it is, but the inside ties that some of these guys may have,
Flores came from
but
Belichick and he didn't get the same chance that Josh McDaniels getting. So
it's
so you still know what it come down to.
the black coaches seem to have like the shortest leash in it. and I have to give it to the Steelers because I don't, they've only had like three coaches like their whole entire tenure, like three or four coaches, like their whole entire like
but
what I'm
that
saying? They
you know
but
that
they
says
they
Reed.
stay consistent. They
There
stay
you go.
consistent with whoever that coach is. They believe in him. They let him do his work for however long, because Cower was there for I don't know how long until
Ever.
Tom came. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
But they do a
And
thorough
Tom,
job in their interview process to make sure
yeah,
they find the right candidate. And I
yes.
don't think, and let's get this straight. I don't think that the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Rooney family hired Mike Tomlin just because he was a young black mind. He was a
Mm-mm.
young, energetic. I mean, when I tell you one of the smartest brothers I've ever, but well, take that back. One of the smartest people I've ever talked to. Take away his skin color, to know the game the way he does, to carry himself the way he does, to speak the way he
Mhm.
does,
Mhm.
to demand the attention and the presence of his defensive backs meeting room is what he did when he was in
He was
Tampa.
Steelers material. He
He
was
was
the
what you
exact
needed.
Steelers material.
But the thing is, there's more Mike Tomlins out there if you go and interview him. I really pray that D'Amico Ryans can get a job, man. That brother from San Francisco is
Man,
I I think he's another good one. He's a great mind. He's gonna take something and bring a new energy to a team. He's just got to get a chance. To me, the Raiders hire. To me, I think that's a safe bet. I think that's a Mike Davis thing. That's the David, and not to fault the whole, the whole Davis family. You know what I'm saying? Art Shell got a coaching job, one of the first black head coach. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Because of Al Davis, but at the same time, he kept it safe the whole time. I just think, and I don't care if it's a white person that they hired. I thought they should have kept the special teams coordinator as a head coach. He did a good job. They had a decent staff in place. Maybe had to fix one or two pieces on the offensive side of the ball, especially now that Mike Mayock was gone. Think that they bring a new GM in, it can help. But when that new general manager came in, I knew they were going to start over, and I just think that McDaniels is a guy that's got another chance just because of his namesake and what he's done in New England with Belichick, but not really deserving of his position.
why go to Indianapolis when I can go to Vegas?
Well, I mean, that was a couple years ago in the Indianapolis job. And
Yeah.
if you really the man and think that you can coach the way that all these disciples of Belichick could do, because Matt Patricia went to Detroit and ran that shit into the ground, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I'm not gonna bash everybody that came out of them what they did. It's just the way you go about doing things. That's just not my favorite hire for the Raiders at all. Now, the New York Football Giants, they decided to hire a new coach, and they went with Brian DeBoer from Buffalo. And I think that's not a bad move. I think being in that area, being an offensive guy, is something that the Giants need. They needed something that was going to be a little bit different than Joe Judge, and
He's an
I think
OC.
who's that?
He was, he was
Brian.
offensive coordinator.
Yeah, he was the OC in Buffalo. He was the
Okay.
OC in Buffalo, and
Okay.
now he's the head coach in New York. And see, and I think
Okay.
that's a good pick. And I think he's young. I think he's
Okay.
hungry. He's
OC in
ready.
Buffalo to New York.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. That can work. That can work. That
yeah,
can work.
yeah.
I mean, shit, it wasn't like Buffalo's offense wasn't bad. You know what I'm saying? So
It
maybe
wasn't
he
bad at
can kind
all,
of take from
and
that. Yeah.
they did some things this year to really improve. And I think that I think that McDermott's gonna miss him. I think that him and the way he worked with Josh Allen showed wonders for that team. He did good things. I think he's probably the right kind of mind that they need. And some people might go like, we need a defensive minded coach in New York. Nah, I think they can. A good offensive minded coach can go find a great defensive guy to be that coordinator and help them get over that hump. And I think
Mhm.
they're going to do that. So the Giants hire Brian the Ball from Buffalo. I think that's cool.
They need
Now
to
this,
learn how to move the ball.
yeah, now this is one that's baffling that I know a lot of Chicago people have been talking about on social media. They hate the Bears hired the Indianapolis Colts defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus is the new Chicago Bears head coach, and I'm just asking you, Reed, with a young Justin Fields as your quarterback. Do you bring in a defensive minded guy to help lead this young quarterback? Do you think the Bears should have gone
No,
offensive coach, or
offensive minded,
you think they need to go
offensive
offensive minded?
minded, offensive minded, offensive minded. I'll say it again, offensive minded. I don't know why, but you go offensive minded because you work y'all drafted this boy Justin Fields to be the future. Okay,
Right,
so he's on your offense, so you got
right,
to start developing your offense to suit around the boy. You get an offensive minded coach who understand what pieces he got, what he can do, what you got, what he can't do. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So you start creating game plans. Okay, we're gonna use your abilities, your best part of your abilities. We're gonna use them, implement them in the game. This is how we're gonna do it. Defensive minded coach ain't gonna do that.
Right. Right. It's I don't know. I don't know enough about Ever for us to know if how good or how bad this is, but I know I've had about 4 or 5 different guys from Chicago, and shout out to there's a show on ASAP Network, man. That's straight up for the Chicago Bears. They laid into it with some good knowledge the other day about what they thought about this hire and that, why it wasn't a good hire and what they need to do. I just feel like you need somebody that's been around developing quarterbacks to come in to be that piece that you need
Mm-hmm.
to help Justin Fields out. They've been
Mm-hmm.
so banged up. He got so beat up. He ran for his life, and Nagy wasn't it. Now, who Everfluss puts on his staff is going to be key since he's a defensive minded guy. A lot of his
Yeah.
emphasis is probably going to be on defense, but he has got to hire the right offensive coordinator and the right offensive staff to help Justin Fields have success because I think he has talent to be the quarterback of the future that they missed on with Trubisky. But if he doesn't get the pieces around him, they're gonna keep the quarterback carousel going on forever and ever, man.
That's bad. That's bad. And the problem is Justin Fields can go somewhere else and flourish. I think the boy can go somewhere else and flourish. I really think. But if Chicago don't get this right, man, Chicago don't get it right. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know. Thank you, Jay Stocks. I'm telling you, offensive minded. They should have done it.
yeah. Yes, sir. I feel you, Jay. All right, man. So we're gonna go into the last one more hire that was because there's still a couple positions out there left. We don't know what's gonna happen, and we might not know until this week goes along and going into next week's show. We'll talk about it. But the Broncos hired, I think it was Nathaniel Hackett from Green Bay. Hackett was the offensive coordinator in Green Bay. Um, I like Green Bay's offensive style. They believe in running the ball. They believe in the play action pass. They had a quarterback that can do it. They had Jones, a running back that can do it. I think it's what Denver needs. I think Denver's biggest thing is who's going to be the quarterback. What's going to be their identity as far as
Mhm.
like running the ball or passing the ball. And I think they're
Yeah,
bringing in the right coach to help that team find an identity. But the thing is, they're going to have to go get the pieces for it to make it work.
quarterback off top. Quarterback off top. I mean, number one has to be the quarterback position, bro.
Right.
Because it's not Drew Luck. It's not Teddy B.
Yeah, I hate
It's
to say that. It's not Teddy B, man.
y'all have to find that quarter, even if it's just a vet, man. Even if it's just a vet to just circumvent just for the time being, bro. Just for
Right.
the time being. Just y'all need something, man. Goodness gracious. Because if you don't get that, it's gonna be he'll be out soon if they don't get no quarterback, man.
Right.
Like guys, I don't understand. Like these coaches got to know what they getting themselves into. You know what I'm saying? When they call these people and be like, "Hey man, we want you to come in and interview." Like if they call me to interview, man, I'm thinking like, okay, the team has this, the team has this, the team has this. You know what I'm saying? Do I
Uh-huh.
really want to be there? Can I win there? I'm asking every kind of question that I can. Like quarterback is
Yeah.
gonna be a very big issue for me.
And if I don't have one, what free agents are going to be available? And what's my draft position? And what's in the draft? It's gonna mean a lot. You know what I'm saying?
The daddy to get this.
Hey, now everyone is saying that could be a landing spot, man. And
uh,
the Denver Broncos may be thinking, hey, let's get Hackett. That way we have a chance of really getting Aaron Rodgers if Green Bay ships him out. Jay, I don't know, man. That's a good point. I was thinking Aaron Rodgers may be able to go fill in for Tom Brady for a couple of years
who knows? Who
down in
knows?
Tampa. Nah, I don't
Who
know what's
knows?
going to happen with that man, but yeah, I think that might have been a little bit of strategy from the Broncos ownership
Probably,
to go
probably
ahead and bring in
trying
somebody
to
that might
trying to
help
pull
them.
another Peyton Manning type shit.
Yeah, it might happen like that. May not. We'll see. But I don't know if Aaron. Be careful going over to that AFC, dog. They got them young gunslingers over there, dog. You guys to be careful.
You want some problems right now.
You got to
Right.
be careful over there. What my grandmama said, boy, you got to be careful, baby. You can't just go out there and do what you want to do.
Rogers finna go host Jeopardy.
Hey, man, do you really think that he can walk away from the game? That he might walk away from the game?
Rogers is trying to act like your boy, what's his name? Jay Cutler, man. In
Oh,
my opinion.
wow.
Like he's starting to get that Cutler, like,
I ain't heard that in a minute,
it is what
man.
it is type, you know what I'm saying? Like I think he truly enjoys playing with Devontae Adams and stuff like that. But I think he's getting to that point, like, here's what it is, bro. Like,
Damn, that's big, dog. It might be. I don't see it though, bro. I think Rodgers still has enough in him, and I think for him to live up to that GOAT well, the grading curve of the GOAT status that we like to say. I think he really wants to try to get another championship, man. I think that
I,
Aaron Rodgers has that in him,
I
and
think he can still
unlike
do it.
unlike unlike Cutler never really had a chance to go get a ship. Cutler was never like scaring nobody. Like, oh damn, Jay Cutler about to lead somebody to a Super Bowl. I think
No,
Aaron
no.
Rodgers still has that in him.
Actually, Cutler had the talent. Cutler just didn't care.
You see, hey, talent and want to
Cutler
do
had
two
the
different
talent.
things. Reed, I feel you.
That's
Your
what it is. Cutler had the talent. He just didn't care.
your boy Aaron Rodgers has the want to. Cutler, whatever. He laid up somewhere ain't thinking about football.
Rogers has the one too, but lately it's just been like
But do you think that's because of how he's really feeling about Green Bay, or do you think that's really his overall persona right now and how he feels about the game itself?
I think it'd be a little bit of both. It'd be a little bit of both, man.
All right.
Um, yeah, I think it's just a little bit of both. I think it's. I mean, don't get me wrong. You win one Super Bowl, you want to win another. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yet, then again, you've already won. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? How
Yeah.
many people can say that they won? You know what
True
I'm
that.
saying?
Yeah.
You know,
Very true,
and it's
man.
not like the boy ain't still like, it's still like he ain't capable of like breaking records and doing so many other things. So it's not like he's not going to a Hall of Fame because he is Aaron Rodgers.
True that.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
Hmm.
really, what else does he need to prove? Just him just wanting to win another chip?
I
You know what I'm
think when you
saying?
come down to being able to talk about goats, being able to talk about who's the best, who's the baddest, I think you have that. Like I'm the guy. I got these many Super Bowl wins. I think it just comes down to that when it comes to quarterbacks, man. Is it a fair comparison? Probably not, because I think one of your best quarterbacks of all times was Dan Marino, and he doesn't have a Super Bowl championship. You know what I'm saying? Like,
True.
there's a
True.
lot of them out there. Jim Kelly never won one. He was
True.
a monster. Got the 4 in a row, and never won one. Right?
True.
So it
God, how
happened.
you do that?
Yeah,
Mm.
right. So it happens all the time. And the quarterback position is a hard position because of what they think they can do, what they want to try to do. And I just think that um I'm gonna hurt Jabari Stockland, dog. If you read these comments over here, read.
I'm reading them too,
Yeah, I'm,
bro.
I'm,
I'm
I'm gonna
reading
get,
them
I'm
right
gonna
here.
get, I'm gonna get Jay Stoggs on Thursday. It's all good. He just mad because of what I said about Fat Luca the other day. But that's another show. This move the chains, not move the couch. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna talk about Fat Luca Doncic right now, dog. So
He
hey,
is a
man,
little chubby. He a
yeah.
little chubby.
So that
Yo,
coming
yo,
up.
yo, 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 Mavs fan though. I'm a Mavs fan though. Yes, sir. Yes,
So man,
sir.
hey, before we gotta get ready to get this thing out of here, man, because hey, we want to thank ASAP Plus and
Hey,
ASAP
Sap, love
All
y'all,
Sport
man.
All
Thank
Plays
y'all.
Networks for letting us come on and do our thing on here.
Most
Uh
deaf.
Big Game Sports Buzz, Man Cave Express linking up, moving the chains. And guys, after the NFL season, we're gonna keep this thing moving. Gonna be a new show, new title, but same time. We're gonna do this thing big, man. Keep it going. We love that guest interaction. So anytime you in that chat, you like what we
Please,
got
man. We
going on,
love it.
go ahead, drop in, state your argument, your point of view, and we will talk about it while we on here. But hey, you can find my man A Reed at A Reed TV
Yes,
and
sir.
also at MCXP Express on Twitter. You can find me Big Game James at BG Sports Buzz on Twitter and at JCan97. You know what I'm saying? For Big Game James, my man A Reed,
Yes,
this has been
sir.
another edition of Move the Chains.
Rudy, baby. We